What if the world's first great cities had no kings, no armies, yet perfect order? No golden throne, no palace walls, no war drums echoing through the streets. And yet, everything worked. Welcome to Harappa. A city so ancient that when the Egyptian pyramids were still under construction, Harappa already had plumbing. A city so mysterious that even today no one knows who ruled it, or if anyone ruled at all. This is the story of a civilization without kings, perhaps the world's earliest and most peaceful democracy. Imagine walking through a city from 5,000 years ago. The air is dry but cool. The Indus River glistens in the morning light. You're surrounded by neat rows of baked brick houses, all identical in size and shape. No palaces, no grand temples, just harmony. Archaeologists found streets laid out like a perfect grid, north to south, east to west, intersecting like the lines on a chessboard. Public wells at regular intervals, drains covered and clean. Every house connected to a central sewage system that would make even some modern cities jealous. But the strangest part? No statues of kings, no royal tombs, no inscriptions glorifying conquerors. It was as if the people of Harappa lived without rulers, and yet everything ran with clockwork precision. Most ancient civilizations were built around power. Egypt had its pharaohs, Mesopotamia had its warrior kings, China had dynasties. But in Harappa, silence, no crowns, no armies, no prisons. And still the city thrived for centuries, peacefully. So who kept order? Some historians believe it was a collective rule, a council of elders, merchants, and engineers who made decisions together. Others suggest Harappa followed a kind of guild democracy, where every trade, potters, metalworkers, farmers, had its say. Think of it like a vast cooperative society. No one man ruled, instead, the system ruled. And this is what makes Harappa feel almost alien. A civilization built on logic and civic sense, not fear or force. If you lived in Harappa, your home would look almost exactly like your neighbors, not bigger, not grander, just balanced. 2 floors, brick walls, a private bath. Even lower-income homes had access to clean water and proper drainage. Imagine that 4,000 years before democracy as we know it, Harappans already practiced urban equality. No rich zone, no poor quarter. Every lane had similar houses, suggesting that wealth was shared, or at least not flaunted. At the heart of the city stood the Great Bath, a public tank built with astonishing engineering. Waterproof bricks, natural heating, and steps on all sides. But this wasn't just a swimming pool, this was sacred, a symbol of purity and unity, where all citizens, regardless of status, could cleanse themselves together. It was equality not just in living, but in belief. How did they maintain law and order without soldiers or judges? Here's where it gets fascinating. Archaeologists found no weapons in the cities, no swords, no armor, no forts. Instead, they found measuring tools, scales, weights, and seals. Trade and truth, not violence, were their currency. It suggests that Harappans believed in a law of balance, fairness in trade, honesty in conduct. Their governance wasn't enforced by fear, but by shared understanding. Imagine that, a city where justice lived in the hearts of the people, not in the hands of a king. But perhaps the most mysterious aspect of all are with their writing. Tiny symbols carved on seals, pottery, and amulets. Over 400 distinct signs, yet no one has been able to decode them. Could those symbols be the names of leaders, religious prayers, or perhaps minutes from those early city council meetings? We don't know. But here's something astonishing. These seals were used to mark goods for trade, suggesting that Harappans had an organized bureaucracy. A democracy of merchants, maybe, where every seal was a voice, every trade a vote. The fact that no one name dominates any artifact tells us something profound. They didn't care for individual glory, only for collective identity. Imagine standing on the roof of your Harappan home at dusk. Smoke rises gently from 1,000 kitchens. Children play near the wells. Merchants close their shops after weighing goods with perfect precision. There's no chaos, no war cries, only rhythm. The civilization stretched across more than 1 million square kilometers, with major cities like Mohenjo-Daro, Dholavira and Lothal, all built using the same blueprint. How? Without kings, armies or communication tools, how did they coordinate? One theory says that Harappans shared a cultural code stronger than any government, a deep communal discipline. Everyone followed the same system because everyone believed in it. It wasn't just governance, it was self-governance, 3,000 years before the word republic even existed. But then something changed. Around 1900 BCE, the order began to crumble. Rivers shifted, trade declined. The once sparkling drains clogged with silt. Without rulers, without armies, Harappa couldn't fight nature. The city that had survived without war couldn't survive the earth itself. And just like that, the world's most peaceful civilization disappeared, leaving behind only bricks, beads, and the whisper of democracy. Today, when we think of democracy, we think of Athens or Rome, but centuries before them, in the fertile plains of the Indus, people had already discovered a gentler way to live. They proved that order doesn't need kings, that power doesn't need palaces, that peace can be built by common people together. Maybe that's why we still feel something sacred when we look at those ruins, because Harappa wasn't just a city, it was an ideal of civilization without domination, of progress without pride, and maybe, just maybe, we are still trying to remember what they once knew. So the next time someone tells you civilization began with kings and conquests, remember the city that needed neither. A city that lived in balance. A city where equality wasn't a dream, but a daily routine. The forgotten democracy of Harappa. If you enjoyed this glimpse into India's ancient brilliance, like, share, and subscribe Historian Baba to uncover more hidden chapters of our forgotten past.